Abusiafo aha eye Ghanatube so ensem a ekoso ewo Ghana four corners ni gina no eno na channel we de ebro matenase fefefe mekọ medensem aba abusiafo entempa ni dimechi na yenkotie ensem bia ekoso ewo omani.
And in our first story, former Vice President Dr. Bawumia is asking President John Mahama to quote immediately rein in his security operatives. His call follows a visit to MP for Assin South and ranking member of Parliamentary Select Committee on Defence and Interior, Reverend John Fojo's house on Wednesday after an attempted raid by some alleged officials of the National Intelligence Bureau. Dr. Bawumia's statement reads, "Last night, following the attempted raid by some alleged officials of the National Investigations Bureau, I visited Honorable Reverend John Fojo, MP for Assin South and ranking member of Parliamentary Select Committee on Defence and Interior." Reverend Fojo was in high spirits and undaunted. I urge all party faithfuls to remain calm, steadfast and law-abiding in this period of unfortunate political persecution. I wish to reiterate my earlier submission to the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, to immediately rein in his security operatives. State institutions must not be reduced to political tools used to harass and intimidate opponents. Ghanaians will not accept this descent into lawlessness and fear. Our democracy is hinged on due process and rule of law. Well, let's explore this further. We've been joined by Naana Agyemang, MP Mensah South, Member, Parliament's Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee. We are grateful for your time, sir, on our desk. First of all, the incident that happened yesterday, I understand that leaders of the minority were there, yourself, but you were a member of the legal committee in Parliament. What do you make of what happened yesterday?
Thank you very much. I was one of the first people to have got into his house. When I went there, I met the General Secretary himself, and the house surrounded by persons holding themselves as security personnel, armed to the teeth, wearing proof. It was a very sad spectacle, it was a very sad spectacle, to say the least. Because I imagine Reverend Fojo, who is not a man of my height, a man of my build, right? It's very smallish. Then you can imagine all these people coming after him. I think that it was very unfortunate. What made it even more unfortunate, and I felt very sad about it, was the fact that he was suffering or taking the intimidation because he spoke on behalf of the minority. I then asked myself, is it the case that everyone that speaks for the minority will be arrested? It was very pathetic, considering how far we have come in our democracy. I didn't suspect that at all. If the minority in Parliament, in playing their oversight role, is going to go through this, then of course it's clear that there is an attempt to gag us, right? The question is, have you had time to read his press statement? Have you had time?
You mean Reverend Fojo?
The press statement that he read for and on behalf of the minority. Have you had opportunity to read it?
No, I've not read it, the statement itself, but we've listened to excerpts of it that he said in the press statement, in the press conference.
It is important that you read the press statement.
Your point is?
The point is his press statement does not warrant all these things. He didn't say anything harmful. He didn't make any allegation against government.
So let me understand
what
from
he
you.
Said, what he said, right? He laid two simple factual bases and proceeded to ask questions. One, there has in recent times been two arrests, right? Of two separate arrests of substance suspected to be cocaine in substantial quantity, right? Assessed or estimated to be in excess of $300 million, right? And he's asking, where are the persons involved in the trafficking?
So at least we know from the stance of Reverend Tim Fojo, he's asked about the flights that landed in the country, also about the drug bust that happened somewhere in the western or central region, about 350 million cedis worth of cocaine, you know, and also the bit about the gold bust that happened some weeks ago. All these came together under his statement asking government to investigate into this. Well, that is done. But do we understand the reason why the National Intelligence Bureau, you know, stormed his house yesterday? Was there any reason?
Before I proceed, let me do this correction. It wasn't Reverend Tim Fojo's statement. It was the minority statement which he read. All of us couldn't have read that statement.
Led by him,
he read
anyway.
it on our behalf, yes.
All right.
Now, they came there because they said they wanted him to come and answer questions in respect of the press statement, right? And so they have come to arrest him. I mean, if you have come to arrest him, you come with, if you want him to answer questions, firstly, he's a member of parliament, right? The precedent is that you go through the Speaker of Parliament, and then the Speaker would make arrangements for him to be available. In this instance, why don't they want to go through the Speaker of Parliament? Just last week, Monday, you must have seen in circulation a communication from the Speaker informing two of our members of a similar arrangement for the Bureau of National Intelligence or National Intelligence Bureau to come and speak to them in Parliament. So why Reverend Tim Fojo be treated differently?
So, Mr. Bafwewa, Article 117 says that civil or criminal process coming from any court or place out of Parliament shall not be served on or executed in relation to the Speaker or a member or a clerk to Parliament while he is on his way to attending at or returning from any proceedings of Parliament. But here we sit, Parliament is on recess. Do you still think that they couldn't have gone to his house to initiate whatever they wanted to do there?
Notwithstanding Article 117, an arrangement has been reached, which arrangement has been followed. And I cited what happened last Monday, right? Even though Parliament is on recess, that was what happened. And so, really and truly, you know, it is not a different situation, even though Parliament is on recess.
Madam Asapa, Samudi Mechi, Emaikotie, and Semno with me an opportunity I share views on the issues at our comment section. Now, you're ready, Brett, Agyemang, Nina, Eddie, Amon, as my message Musono, Mema, or if you sell over subscribe. Now I hit a notification link in the so, Agyemang, I think so. Mema, or if you saw me share, Nefe, everything for aha, Ghanatube, send them the Ganka, Modofo, Snow, Minam Tenase, Eddie, and Premo, Sisia, my